All right, welcome back to the Sports Show with Woody and Les and everyone else. This is Eric Goodman filling in for Woody today, and this is Jim Clibanoff, who for the last year has been the director of scouting for the Denver Nuggets. Before that, you ran a scouting service, a basketball scouting service for a long, almost 2 decades, right?
I did. This is actually my second season with the Nuggets. This will be my second draft. Prior to that, I had a scouting service for NBA teams and international clubs.
All right, so we're all competitive here, but to be in sports with a sports organization full time, you got to be ultra competitive. You don't play.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, you don't play in the NBA.
I don't play.
I'm guessing you get out on the court every once in a while and hoop it up. You don't play. So is this the time of year that is your NBA Finals, getting ready for the draft and making that pick, that ever important pick?
Not necessarily, because it oftentimes takes a while for that pick to come to fruition. So if you draft a guy at 16, or we drafted at 11 last year, traded for 16 and 19, Nurkic had a great rookie season. Payoff might not be until his second or third year when he's averaging a double-double. So you feel good about your selection. You get the guy that you want. You've done all the homework for him. But sometimes it takes a bunch of years for that guy to be the man.
And I'm so glad you traded out of number 11, and I'm so glad you didn't take McDermott.
And when you heard McDermott, what was there? A sigh?
I'm
was it a sigh?
I'm glad you didn't keep him.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. I don't think he's much of a player.
I don't know if he really fit our team.
Yeah.
But that trade was, I mean, Tim Connolly did a great job draft night. We explored so many different things and were able to make that move.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been covering this team for a long time, as has Les. What I think this team is missing more so than anything else isn't necessarily talent. It is leadership. When Chauncey was here, you had a leader playing with Melo. When Chauncey wasn't here, when Melo was here, even from the day he was drafted, Melo was not that
George
leader.
had to be the leader. George Karl had to be the leader.
Yeah, but George needed a voice, and finally got a voice in Chauncey Billups. Looking at the guys who you will have an opportunity to choose from, I'm not going to ask you, who are you taking? Okay, I take that back. Who are you taking? No. I'm not going to ask you who you're taking because you're not going to give away trade secrets, but I think it's a fair question to ask. Of the guys you're looking at, who has great leadership potential?
But therein is the key word when you say potential, because so many of the guys are going to take part in the first half of the first round are freshmen. These are 18, 19-year-old kids. So you really have to go and do this research and tap into it. And we're doing just all of our due diligence, talking to high school coaches, college coaches, AAU people, friends of the family, friends of the program, whatever it is. You might not see that immediate leadership early on, but you can see the personality, and it's seeing what worked in the past and what hasn't worked, and trying to make an educated decision on that to see who, again, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. And you're right, we need a proper culture, you need a climate, you need mentorship. But not only do you need mentorship, but someone who's going to accept that from an older guy, as opposed to a set-in-his-ways young man who you might think will have leadership, but it ends up becoming more of a cancerous type of personality.
Okay, so you've done all your research, and I'm just going to pick 3 guys who might be on the board. Hezonja, Porzingis, and Winslow. What have you learned about those 3 guys from the people that you've talked to about what kind of leader they can become?
Hezonja is a guy who has dominated at youth levels. Very driven player. Goes to Barcelona and doesn't play a lot, but it's a hard explanation. Normally you'll look and say, well, this kid only averaged 15 minutes a game playing in Europe. Well, he plays for a team which arguably, if it were in the NBA, wouldn't go 0-82. This team would win NBA games. So there is a pecking order there, and you see this fire in him. Eastern European. You spend time with Nurkic, you see the Eastern European mentality. It's tough, it's rugged, it's wanting to get out of, you know, a lower economic level. You see that in Hezonja. Porzingis is a work in progress. He's a big guy with great athletic tools, length, continuing to grow each year incrementally.
Skinny
very intriguing player, but only 18
Yeah.
or 19 years old.
Yeah.
So you need to project ahead and say when Porzingis is 22 or 23 years old, the player you have today will be vastly different from the guy down the road. Great kid, fits in to a team concept, averaging, you know, he's producing more than Hezonja, but don't let those numbers mislead you into thinking, you know, he's immediately going to impact whatever team drafts him, if it's the Nuggets. Justice Winslow, who we had in for an interview, Wonderful person. Fit in so well with the Duke program. Has pedigree. That's another one of these buzzwords around this time of year. Pedigree. He has that aplenty. Went into the high school circuit last fall, McDonald's, Hoop Summit, etc. So, I mean, he's a guy you feel confident. He's got presence in the interview when you talk to him. He's a very bright kid. So, again, it's these little personality traits that you hope are going to mushroom into a team leader. Don't think you can find it immediately that someone's going to seize the locker room.
He's Jim Clibanoff. He's the director of scouting for the Denver Nuggets basketball team. And this portion of the big stuff brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports, your source for the original motorcycle, Indian motorcycles. So check out the newest line of Indian motorcycles at Grand Prix Motorsports on County Line and Santa Fe. And that's Big Fred riding that Indian motorcycle right there.